Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to read the book Saving Fiona, the story of the world's most famous baby hippo by Thane Maynard. This is Fiona. She is a baby hippopotamus, but not just any baby hippopotamus. She is the first premature hippopotamus to be raised by humans. She is a survivor. This is her story. Isn't she cute? There had not been any hippos at the Cincinnati Zoo. People really love hippos, and so they decided to get some hippos at their zoo. But one thing hippos need is water. Lots and lots of water. Look at that tank. It's filled with so much water. That's a huge pool. The first hippos they got were Bibi and Henry. And they really hoped that they would get along and maybe have babies. And guess what? They did. So Bibi was pregnant. And the way they knew that she was pregnant was because they did something called an ultrasound, which is kind of like an x-ray, but it's different technology. And look, I think those are ribs. What do you think they are? I'm not an expert, but that's what I think they are. But sometimes things happen too soon. They noticed that Bibi was acting like she was going to give birth, but it was really early. She wasn't supposed to give birth until March. But then, on January 24, 2017, she gave birth to a baby hippo. She only weighed 29 pounds. So just so you know, when hippos are born, they're supposed to be about 3 times as big. So, if you look at how big Fiona is here, she's really supposed to be this big. Being premature, she couldn't do a lot of the things that baby hippos normally can, like climb on their mom's back, swim with their mom, and nurse from their mom. So they could not waste any time. They had to figure out how to answer the following questions. What do we feed her? Should we put her in the water? How do we make her stronger? And how would a hippo mom take care of a premature baby in the wild? Because nobody had ever raised a premature hippo. It was going to take a large team of experts, and they called that team Team Fiona. So they decided to name the baby hippo Fiona because they thought she looked a lot like the princess from the movie Shrek. Do you see the resemblance? I do. They have the same type of face and the same type of wiggly ears. And if you go on social media with your parents' permission, of course, and you type in hashtag Team Fiona, either on Google or Facebook or Instagram or any of those social media platforms, you'll get a lot of results, meaning you'll see a lot of pictures of Fiona. Isn't she so cute? Somebody had to stay with Fiona around the clock. That means all the time, to make sure that she stayed warm. They had to heat up her room to 98 degrees. That's really hot, you guys. That's like a really, really hot day in San Diego. just to make sure that she never got cold. Even her little pool was filled with water of nearly 100 degrees. Very, very warm. I want a hot tub. The first dilemma, that means problem, was getting Fiona to nurse or eat. So they had to do their best to get milk from Fiona's mom, Bibi. So they had to milk her like they would a cow. Except that can be pretty dangerous. So as soon as they had enough milk, they studied it and they figured out what made up hippo milk. And then they were able to make their own. But it was hard to keep Fiona interested in food. She didn't really want to eat very much, and sometimes she had trouble breathing, so she wasn't feeling too well. One of the big problems was keeping her hydrated. That means she needed to have a lot of water inside her body. And they figured out that maybe, just maybe, if they put an IV in her, that's a needle, and they pumped water into her body slowly, that could keep her hydrated, similar to what is done to people when they're dehydrated. And guess what? She started feeling better, which means she started eating more and she started gaining weight. Fiona had turned a corner. So they decided to slowly introduce Fiona to her mom, Bibi, but only through a grate. And that's because they didn't want something accidentally to happen, like maybe she would get hurt or something. And they had to teach her how to swim. So here they are teaching Fiona how to swim and exercise. They were so happy with her progress that they decided that it was okay for Bibi to slowly be introduced to her baby Fiona, except they were kind of scared, because Henry and Bibi both weigh over 7,000 pounds, and they were afraid that they would accidentally step on her or push her or somehow hurt her. Here's Fiona putting her head in her mom's mouth. That's okay, guys. Nothing happened. She's just exploring. And Bibi was such a nice mom, letting her explore her mouth. The next big challenge was teaching her to swim in the big, deep pool. Now, hippos need to learn how to push off the bottom of the pool to go up and get oxygen or air. And when she finally figured out how she could do that, they let Bibi and Fiona spend time in the pool by themselves. And guess what? They loved being together and swimming and playing. Things were going so well that they decided to include Henry, her father, into the mix. And they got along just fine. Everyone at the zoo learned so much from Fiona. They learned how to do hippo ultrasounds, make hippo milk, and everything else you need to know to raise a premature baby hippo for the first time. Fiona taught us all to never give up. Now, I'm going to tell you one fact about hippos. So all hippos come from the continent of Africa. Now, if you see where it's yellow, that's where Nile hippos come from. Those are the really, really big hippos you're used to seeing at the zoo. But there aren't that many pygmy hippos. That's what Fiona is. She's a pygmy hippo. So those come from this little yellow area on the Horn of Africa. And it covers 3 different countries. Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Ivory Coast. Isn't that interesting? Now I'm going to skip ahead a few pages so I can show you a really cute picture of Fiona celebrating her first birthday. Isn't that great? Now Fiona's probably more like, I don't know, like 3 to 4 years old right now. So I would say, with your parents' permission, go on Google and type in hashtag Team Fiona so you can see the latest pictures. I bet she's a lot bigger now. Alright guys, so this was the reading of this awesome book called Saving Fiona, the story of the world's most famous baby hippo by Thane Maynard. I hope you enjoyed the book. Now make sure that you go on either Class Dojo, if that's what your teacher uses, or Google Classroom, if that's what your teacher uses, and go ahead and look up the activities that I'm posting for you guys to do this week. Okay? When you guys send in those activities to me, that's how I know that you're keeping up with the assignments for speech and language, and that you're watching the video and that you're doing all the work. And I appreciate you guys so much for trying to get that done. I love all of the assignments and the pictures and the sentences that are coming in. You guys are doing a terrific job, and your parents too. All right? So go ahead and re-watch the video if you want. If it, maybe, sometimes when you watch a video more than once, you pick up more information than you did the first time. And that'll help you do some of your assignments too. All right? So have a great week, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.